candle represents the light of the lives of transgender people all around the world, and of the love of their friends and family, and of our love here today for gathering. Thank you.
Check, check, 1, 2. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending our first annual Transgender Day of Remembrance. We're small, but we're mighty. I wrote this song a while back called Gone Too Soon Through Hate. It's dedicated to all the wonderful angels that have passed away because of hate. Lost in a world of perfection, never really seemed to measure up. The face and shadows are against me. So many times I just want to stop. Was this world made for living? Oh, this pain hurts too much. Can someone please stop the beatings and the hatred towards us? I'm just a child that knows no better. My world is meant to be alright. War and hatred. Look what they taught them, and now I'm gone. Oh, gone. Too soon through hate. Oh, gone. That was my fate. We can't blame our abusers for their victims just like me. Is this world that needs the fixing? And we died for their beliefs. Stop the wars and stop the hating. Change your attitudes and the life, 'cause you are spreading like a cancer, and destroying all of us. I'm just a child that knows no better. My world is meant to be alright. Look what they taught them, and now I'm gone. Oh, gone. Too soon through hate. Oh, gone. That was my fate. Look within to find your answers. The division has to stop. How many more deaths are needed? Don't you think we've had enough? No more beating, no more killings. Let us love and bring an end to this needless death and grieving. Planet Earth will soon transcend. I'm just a child that knows no better. My world's meant to be alright. But all I see is war and hatred. Look what they taught them, and now I'm gone. Oh, gone to sail through hate. Oh, gone. That was my fate. Oh, gone, gone to sail through hate. Na 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 na. Too soon through hate. Thank you. It's very sad that people get killed for being who they are. And I know people get killed every day just for being who they are, whether they have a different color or they have a way of holding their wrists, and it's just not what society wants us to be. And we need to stop this. We need to go within our hearts and our soul and realize that we are here for a reason, and our self-expression is important. We're not robots. We're not a box to be ticked. Anyway, the Transgender Day of Remembrance is observed in late November in recognition of the 1998 murder of Rita and Esther. Rita was a highly visible member of the transgender community in her native Boston, where she worked locally on education around transgender issues. On Saturday, November 28th, Rita was stabbed 20 times in her apartment. A neighbor called the police, and Rita was rushed to the hospital. She passed away from cardiac arrest only moments after being admitted. 13 years later, police have still not found Rita's murderers. In 1999, 1 year after Rita's murder, advocate and writer Wendell Ann Smith coordinated a vigil in Rita's honor. The vigil was not only for Rita, but also for the tragically lost to anti-transgender violence. In addition to the vigil, Smith launched Transgender Day of Remembrance website to recognize and remember those whose lives have been lost to anti-transgender violence. The number of those honored on the site has been grown to over more than 327 people in the United States alone, with over 300 more in other countries, and that's just what's been reported. The 2014 update has revealed a total of 1,509 cases of reported killings of trans and gender variant people from January 1st of 2008 to March 31st of 2014, and the numbers are climbing. During the candlelighting portion of this vigil, you will hear the names and statistics from all around the world, but I guess not completely all around the world, but we are murdered for being who we are. We are hated for feeling our truth and living our lives. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to close your eyes just for a moment and imagine waking up with a different set of genitals that you are accustomed to. Genitals that do not match your mind and heart. How does that feel? And is it fair to get murdered for that? Thank you.
Oh my goddess. Oh my goddess, I cry out to you in the name of my forsaken people. From the ladies in the secret spas to the girls who walk the street each night. All those who struggle just to pay the rent and try to find enough to eat each day, while always hoping for a little surplus to buy their hormones any way they can. Oh my goddess, I cry out to you in the name of my forsaken people. In every country in the world, we struggle against discrimination and oppression, while from the police we find no safety, just more harassment and intimidation. And our poor sisters thrown in jail with men, like gentle dolphins tossed into a tank of sharks. Oh, my goddess, I cry out to you, in the name of my forsaken people. We who do no harm to anyone, why do they persecute and rape and kill us? Why do they ridicule us so? Because we live our truth, they fear us. For we are living proof that all their concepts are nothing more than lies and mass delusion. Oh, my goddess, I cry out to you, in the name of my forsaken people. May I live to see the day the world shall finally cease to scorn and mock us, but instead once more shall honor the special gift of wisdom that we offer, and our great bridge of rainbow light shall help bring peace and justice to the world. I wrote an editorial some years ago entitled Little Murders, and I may quote a little bit of it. I think this one was published in Albuquerque. Murders of transgender people don't take place in a vacuum. They reflect a climate of hatred and rejection of our identity. Transgender Day of Remembrance was begun not only because our people are being murdered all the time, but because the authorities, the press, and the public kill us a second time with their scorn, ridicule, and condescension. Again and again, we have seen our murdered sisters being in effect placed on trial by the defense attorneys, as if to imply that any normal man would resort to violence upon learning that the woman with whom he had sex, or was considering having sex, happened to have some male parts. So that we're normal. Well, hopefully that's no longer true. But it is this climate that leads to that. And we still have people, when I look for it almost every day, I see something on the internet. Another put down. If somebody, the Ku Klux Klan, put something in there about people of color, I don't think it would be respected. Even the put-downs of gay people very seldom happens. But put-downs of trans people, all the time, somebody says something. And it gets quoted. And so that's the other side. See, this is Transgender Day of Remembrance, and the other side is the people who basically are egging on the murderers. So, I have a message for these people. I'm remembering when I was in the civil rights movement, some of the people who were from, I think it was Alabama. We were singing this song saying, I love everybody in my heart. And then they eventually said, I love Governor Wallace in my heart. Which is, of course, what they were supposed to say. But then they said, I just told a lie. That was not true. It is very hard to love your enemies. It's a real challenge. And it's a challenge that I personally face all the time. And probably I should stop reading the stuff they say. But I have a special message to them, which I wrote the lyrics in 2011, and just in the last month or so got around to setting them to music. And you have the lyrics, so please at least join in as much as you can. It's a bit tricky. You spill all your hateful lies about my people in the news, while you anally obsess about which bathroom we should use. So you think that our identity is something we can choose? Why would we go through this torment when we have so much to lose? Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Stop condemning us and leave us alone. Stop restricting us and leave us alone. Stop suppressing us and leave us alone. You keep putting down my people with your hatred every day, or revealing all your ignorance with every word you say. You claim our existence is a sign of national decay. Will you ever come to understand that we were born this way? Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Stop mistreating us and leave us alone. Stop oppressing us and leave us alone. Stop attacking us and leave us alone. Oh, you think that you know everything, you haven't got a clue. All we are demanding are the human rights that we are due. We have never done a single thing to hurt or threaten you. Why are you afraid of us when we're so powerless and few? Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Stop abusing us and leave us alone. Stop assaulting us and leave us alone. Stop destroying us and leave us alone. Are you minded in your narrow world? We're living in our home. Our world is much wider than the little world that you have known. So get off your nasty, hypocritical, judgmental tone. And then if you still don't like us, why don't you leave us alone? Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Stop assassinating us and leave us alone. Stop annihilating us and leave us alone. Stop denying us our rights and leave us alone.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Mark. Now we come to the time in our service when we read the names of those who have been taken too soon through hate. And these are just the names that we have from this year. This is since the last Transgender Day of Remembrance last November. And many of the people who have been killed, we don't have their names. And we have no record of them. We just have numbers. And, many hundreds in Brazil and many hundreds in other countries. We have no idea how many in China. And so these are just the names of people that made their way into the paper. And so we were able to collect them. So and this will take a little while because there are a lot of them. So as we read these names, think about also all of the people who were not named. And what I invite you to do is you have the names that you've been assigned to read. Light your candle. And then read the names of the people that you have. And I ask you just to read their name and where they're from. Maya Prasetyo from Brisbane, Australia. Rosa Reboot, also known as John Saya Reboot, from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Elizabeth Oliveira de Mesquita, Teresina, Brazil. Joyce, also known as Jose Antonio Beira Freitas, in Teresina, Brazil. Brittany Sturgis, Cleveland, Ohio. Betty Skinner, Cleveland, Ohio.
Paulette, Taguatinga, Brazil. Nicole, Santo, Brazil. Marciana, Igatu, Sierra, Brazil. Paulette Roberto, 19 years old, from Paris, Brazil. Unknown woman, burned to death from Goiza, Brazil. Vitoria, Boavista, Romania, Brazil.
Jacqueline Cohen.